Welcome to Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Link.
And I'm Rhett. This week at the round table of dim lighting, we have to dig into our errors and omissions.
Insurance? No,
yes,
what?
Yes.
We're being sued?
Yep. Nope.
We're not being sued.
Not true. But I made an error and an omission. I made an error or an omission.
Okay.
A lot of people corrected me in the comments when I talked about my Croatia trip, and they were like, that was a bad trip. No, they said that when I described the war that I was being told about by the locals in Croatia, that I didn't know my facts. And you're right, because I just heard like two cab drivers tell me things and kind of filtered it through my brain and then spat back out what I understood to be the case.
So what's the correction?
Well, the thing that is not true that I think I must have said was that Bosnia attacked Croatia. That's not true. The attacks were staged in Bosnia because that's the land that kind of certain attacks were staged in Bosnia, but it wasn't the Bosnian people or the Bosnian troops that were doing the attacking. It was a couple of different forces, but mostly attributed to Serbia. Like Serbia was kind of controlling some of these things. I'm not going to say who did what. I'm just going to say the Bosnians are cool. Bosnians did not attack Croatians in the early 90s.
Okay.
As far as I understand.
And I knew that when you were saying it.
Right.
And first of all, I didn't want to interrupt. You were talking, I didn't want to interrupt. I don't like to do that, I never do that.
Right.
And I also didn't want to correct you in front of everybody because even though I knew, I didn't want to put you on blast, and I just didn't know if you would lash out at me, Rhett. So This goes deeper.
Yep. I almost made a joke that I would have regretted.
I couldn't call you out.
I would have lashed out.
I know. Okay, well then let's keep going then.
Yeah.
I didn't want to call you out because you're so volatile.
Right.
And unpredictable.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to leave it to the people. And way to go. Way to go, people.
Well, the lesson
Bosnians and otherwise. Thank you for doing the heavy lifting for me and correcting this man. And he's taking it so much better from you than he would have taken it from me, and I'm being facetious, but
yeah, you don't correct me because you don't tend to know correct things.
Oh, come on now.
But
come on.
The lesson that I have learned now.
That was a low blow.
Is that I'm welcome if you want to correct me on anything, anytime you got something. In fact, I encourage you to do it.
I just did. I do know some things. I don't know some things,
when
but
you
I know
start
other
talking
things.
about like the history of other countries in war, which I guess I should have known, is that that's what I heard when I went back into my conversation with a cab driver. I was like, okay, yeah, Bosnians attacked, there's Montenegro and whatever. And so then I was like, no fact checking, no research, just I'm going to repeat this on a podcast. Even on a comedy podcast, you just shouldn't, if you're going to, I should have just said the war.
Hey.
Someone attacked someone in the war.
I mean, I don't think this was a huge
uproar
on the internet.
No. This is not a scandal.
Well, don't minimize it.
It's not a scandal.
You need to own this.
This is the biggest mistake I've made this year.
Don't minimize. Oh my God. Well, since you're so embarrassed and crushed, I do want to tell you that we have a voicemail where someone apologizes to you. Oh. But I didn't really hear an apology from you. So the more I think about it, just go all the way and apologize to the Bosnians.
I said I had an error. I made an error and an omission.
Well, that's not an apology.
I am sorry for making an error and omission. I am sorry to not only all Bosnians, but I am sorry to anybody with the last name Bosworth.
Okay, go on.
Bosworth, the actor.
Yeah.
Kate Bosworth. I'm sorry to her. I'm sorry to Brian Bosworth, who was
cool hair.
He was a MLB player, but also like a wrestler and an actor.
Sounds like you're setting up for some more corrections. Who else?
I am sorry to anyone who has a Bosch washing machine.
That's not how you say it.
Bosch. I'm sorry to Chris Bosch, who is an NBA player. I'm sorry to anyone and everyone who the Boz has anything to do with Boz at all.
Okay.
I'm sorry to Wade Boggs, which is even a different thing.
What?
For saying that the Bosnians attacked Croatia.
Okay.
And any repercussions that might have caused.
For Wade Boggs.
Right. Because I think I may have ruined some people's days.
Anybody else?
Nope, that's it.
What about a buddy, a good buddy of yours?
Okay, I'm sorry to my body.
Buddy.
Body.
Buddy.
Body. My body.
Somebody.
B-U-D-D.
A good buddy.
Yeah.
Me. What about me?
I just apologized to you.
For what?
Not letting you be present in the presence of such salacious misinformation. Not protecting your little brain against against misinformation. Not protecting your teeny tiny little brain against the misinformation that I spewed. You're so easily influenced.
You should apologize for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You don't know how many people I told that the Bosnians were going off and attacking somebody in Croatia.
I mean, I think a whole group started, a Facebook group started.
Now that you've done this, there is a voicemail where someone apologizes to you.
Oh, good.
And that's gonna happen.
Oh, good.
But I wanna remind you to watch Wonderhole. It's out on the Rhett and Link channel, youtube.com/Rhett and Link. Episode 3 is out now, I believe.
Yes.
So go over there and watch that multiple times. Also, if you're a Mythical Society member, or you want to be, well, I think you might want to be, because Lily and I are doing a mini-series over there. We are calling it Link versus Lily, Last One Standing. It's, we do Survivor-esque challenges. And yeah, there's gross food that's coming out soon. Episode 1 is out now. You can check that one out. It is a ridiculous puzzle challenge. And there's 3 total. And it's pretty awesome. It's pretty fun. It's pretty eye-opening. MythicalSociety.com.
Where you can also watch Wonderhole early.
That's right. It comes out on Sunday on YouTube. It comes out on the previous Wednesdays on ad-free on the Mythical Society. So get you some. There was a time when we were building our business that we were trying to stretch every dollar, planning meals, skipping impulse buys, and timing purchases just right. Something we wish we had back then was the right tool to make that kind of money management way more doable. And that's where Klarna comes in. Klarna is your smarter, everyday spending partner. It's not just about splitting payments, though that's there when you need it. Klarna helps you shop smarter by showing price comparisons, offering cash back, and tracking your purchases all in one place. It kind of fits into how I already shop. Whether I'm checking out online or just browsing for the best deal in the app, it helps me feel informed and on top of things without any added stress. Whether you're paying now or later, Klarna helps you stay in control with no interest and no surprises. So, download the Klarna app to get started or learn more at Klarna.com. California resident loans made or arranged pursuant to a California finance law license. NMLS number 1353190. Klarna balance account required. Klarna may get a commission. Limitations, terms, and conditions apply. All right.
Let's hear that voicemail where somebody apologizes to me.
I was gonna make you wait for that one.
Oh, okay.
Because
you teased it.
I'm trying to figure out, maybe there's someone else I want you to apologize to.
Okay.
Hey, Rhett and Link. My name's Bryn, and I have a bit of a conundrum. I'm kind of dating this guy right now. I'm going on and off with this guy who is very blunt, and he just doesn't really understand what he says can hurt people. And I was telling my therapist about it, and he told me that I should stick around and use him as an opportunity to become more assertive myself. And so I started doing that, and it's really toxic, but it's like kind of hot, and I'm not sure if I should like continue doing this, or I don't know. I feel like it's a bad idea to continue, but also like it helps me be more assertive, but also it's just really, really toxic, and it's just why I don't understand. So let me know what you guys think. Bye.
Bryn, this is a roller coaster ride of a voicemail.
I want to apologize to Bryn.
Good, go.
Just in case.
For not really following the logic of Bryn's voicemail? Is that what you're calling it?
I do follow the logic, and listen.
Well, I don't know, help me understand it, because like,
she is in a relationship.
There was bluntness, then there was toxicity, then it was kind of hot.
Well, I understand that. I don't need any explanation about that.
It was kind of hot for her to be assertive or blunt.
She likes bad boys, that's fine. But listen, that's not what this is about. Okay, what you're saying, Bryn, is that you are in a relationship with a guy who you've described his behavior as toxic. You tell your therapist about this. Your therapist says, no, don't break up. Use this as a personal growth opportunity so you can assert yourself. And then you like the idea of that because it's a little bit hot, you know. Maybe it is a little bit hot to like participate in that. And so now you're confused.
I don't like your hair that way.
And you are calling your boys because you know your boys will have an answer for you, which, by the way, is not medical advice. It's not, you shouldn't take it. What are the things we need to say for insurance purposes? If I talk about
contact your lawyer.
If I talk about anything, including Bosnia or any wars, and really anything at all, it's not to be taken seriously. It is for entertainment purposes. That being said, you don't only need a new boyfriend, you need a new therapist.
I don't think that if the relationship was toxic, I just think that she's dating someone who's blunt. And it seems like Bryn has a problem with being assertive.
Oh, so you think the problem here is that she said it was toxic and it's not toxic?
She said, when I took the advice, and it's kind of hot, but it's also toxic.
You think she's using toxic loosely?
I just question, like, what she means by toxic. And if it's a toxic relationship and your therapist is saying, stay in it just so you can learn to be more assertive, that seems
weird.
Sus.
Yeah.
But I'm giving the therapist the benefit of the doubt, and maybe I shouldn't. So that being said,
okay,
if it's a truly toxic relationship as defined by, it creates, there's a difference between blunt and being toxic. Being blunt is not necessarily toxic.
If it's toxic, then you are not like emotionally or psychologically safe.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like that's what's going on, but if that's what's going on, you need a new boyfriend and you need a new therapist.
But it seems like the therapist might have just been saying, you can learn how to be more assertive with someone who is blunt, because people are like that, and you can learn to work with it. If you're not assertive, but someone else asserts their opinion by just saying it filterless, then maybe there's a meeting in the middle. But not if there's toxicity.
But is that the kind of thing that you do in the context of a romantic relationship? To me, it's one thing, it's like, okay, I've got this friend who's very blunt, and it's a little bit, makes me feel uncomfortable sometimes or whatever, but I'm going to remain their friend so I can practice whatever you're supposed to practice with a blunt person, like giving it back to them or whatever what you're supposed to do. Okay. But like in a relationship?
It is weird because, to your point, the reaction to somebody being overly blunt to the point where it might rub you the wrong way or hurt your feelings, not even to the point of toxicity, but just to the point where it's like, I mean, we know people and we've known people. I mean, you run across people all the time, and sometimes you're close to them, sometimes you date them where they just say what's on their mind. But is the response to that to give it back to them? That doesn't seem to follow in my mind. If you have a problem with being assertive and asserting your own opinion or your own needs or your own point of view or whatever, I guess that you could find inspiration from someone who just says what they think. They do it, I can do that. When they do it, what happens? Well, they hurt my feelings. I can do it and hurt people's feelings. That doesn't seem like a good application. But if it's like, I can do it a little bit more in order to not be, these are just my words, be a doormat or subvert my needs and points of view at all times, that's a good exercise to take up space and represent yourself and, assert to a tasteful and respectful level that you're worthy of respect and understanding.
But do you need to do that?
But
I don't.
But
think
is
you
it
need
a
to do
tit for
that
tat thing?
in the
That seems
context of a relationship.
strange.
I don't know.
Give your therapist our number.
We don't know enough about this situation.
Because to talk about it for as long as we have.
We don't know enough about this situation. We should have said that at the top.
And we're just being blunt. Now, I know I'm guilty of this. I've been blunt.
You've been blunt.
I've been blunt.
Yep.
But I wouldn't say it's like an across the board like character flaw. I think it happens sometimes. But I'm not the guy, right? Who's like, hey, watch out, because he's gonna tell you something. I
don't think bluntness is the way
Blunt's not it.
I mean, some people might describe some of the things that you say as blunt, but it's more, you will say something to someone before you have really gauged whether or not the thing that you're about to say to them is going to offend them. Because it's like,
break the ice a little bit.
You come in pretty hot and pretty, and it most of the time it's you're in an effort to connect with somebody. But sometimes it can be like telling somebody that you don't like the way that they're dressed.
Yeah, but I don't do that all the time.
No, you do it a lot with you do it a lot with. You do it mostly with people you're just meeting, which is kind of an odd choice.
Ball busting.
It's just like, I'm just meeting you, and my way of getting to know you is I'm gonna say something that is gonna potentially make you feel uncomfortable in front of all these people, but some people are gonna think, oh, well, you're interesting. But some people are gonna be like, you're an asshole, and you just don't ever know what you're gonna get. So that could be seen as blunt. I mean, you told a working musician. I can't remember the context.
But he needed a stylist.
yeah. You met a working musician for the first time while he was recording an album. And within the first 7 minutes.
No, it wasn't. It was after a couple of hours.
Really?
We were having a gentle hang.
There was more than that before that, but then I
felt like we had rapport and we had gone deep.
And you basically told him he needed a stylist. And I was like, wow, here we go.
Talk a little shit, man.
But
just gonna bust a little balls.
But I will say that
you're a recording musician.
He still likes us. He texted both of us the other day.
He texts me all the time, just me, not you.
That's probably not true.
Not true at all.
But
Has he ever texted you without me?
yeah.
No, he hasn't. I do regret it, and
No,
I do remember that.
well,
I remember that, and I'm like, you know what?
Hold on, let me say, I text him without you.
Okay.
I have a text there with just him that's about something that we care about together that you don't care about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
probably.
So, anyway.
Hold on, it's not me though.
Yeah.
You're not. It's not
It's
a
about-
text thread
it's just
not
talking
with
about
me.
you.
That's just about me. Hey, dude, it's like you don't need to stop.
But what I'm saying is that
I keep telling you. It's
most of
been
the time,
years, by the way.
Most of the time, I would say 9 times out of 10, you have reason to believe that the person that you're saying this to is probably going to be like, this guy's just a bit. The people that you've done
It's
this
not
to
my MO.
it's your MO when you're meeting people for the first time. It is. That's true. Well, undoubtedly. Every single time I've been there in the past
All right.
4 years, maybe. But I think that most of the people that in these settings that we're meeting are like other, let's just say broadly speaking, like entertainment professionals, right? People who are kind of people who maybe walk around being told that they're great from a lot of different people.
I think that's
right?
part of it.
And so maybe you feel this need to be like, I'm just going to say something that's going to knock you off your high horse a little bit. And that's just not, obviously that's not my MO.
Just a little real talk.
And I'm always there and I'm always like, okay, am I going to say something to make this okay? Or am I just going to observe and see what happens? And I would say that almost every time, I think it's ended up being okay. And if it hasn't, we just don't know about it. Like they talked about it later and we don't know them or anything. But I think that
But we have this mutual friend. We had a mutual friend. There was a divorce that happened. So we're not friends with her anymore.
Okay, you didn't have to get that specific.
It's not who you're thinking about right now. But this person
Okay.
was very blunt, and every single time we saw this person, they would say something that would be like, "Ooh, that hurt." Like look you in the eye and just say something unapologetic.
I don't know who you're talking about.
And she was short in stature.
Okay, I still don't know who you're talking about, but like, will they do this? People will do that to you because...
I think it was a cultural difference.
But people will do that to you because you do that to people. A lot of people don't do that to me. Like, I don't get regularly insulted. That I know about.
I'm going to whisper this.
Okay.
Don't you remember? That's like blunt. That's different than what you're talking about with me.
Yeah, I think she was Bosnian. I'm just
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. I want to apologize.
Oh.
I want to apologize.
But I think we did chalk it up to I think this is a cultural thing.
Yeah. But I will say she did that more to you than she did it to me.
Really?
Yeah.
She did it to everybody else. You're too tall. You're scared of your stature.
But I think people are like, oh, he can take it. Like because he does this.
But what she would do is she would say things and it was as if she was like, I think I'm doing you a favor.
She was blunt. I would describe her as blunt. If you were like, is
Right.
Link blunt? I'd be like, well, sit down for a second.
Right.
Blunt is not the best way to describe him.
Right. It's convoluted.
But this woman was blunt. It's like, oh wow, you will just say anything at all. It's like my wife's grandmother's sister had a lobotomy.
Right. So it was cultural.
Well, no.
It was biological.
Back in the day when they did lobotomies, it was a thing that they did. And she was because she was in a bad way back in maybe the 50s, like when she was maybe the 40s, like when she was she's no longer with us, and she would probably be in her 90s or 100 or something now, but
half of her was never with you.
Well, so what they would do is she went through, like in her teenage years, she was just doing lots of stuff, crazy stuff, walking down the street naked and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
And
God forbid a woman have hobbies. Jeez.
And she wasn't doing well. And so they did a lobotomy, which was the kind where they just like sever the connection between the brain, or they go in and it's like scramble a little bit of something. You know, that's what they did.
Scramble.
That's what they did.
They did. They would go in there and they would scramble a part of the brain thinking this will fix it. And
Like literally stick something down in there and just like,
yes.
what?
A lobotomy isn't like changing and putting a new brain in. Like
I know. I thought it was. I thought they removed it, but they just severed it.
Sometimes they'll just go in and scramble it, and
Rearrange the furniture.
this was wildly unsuccessful for most people, but for her, it fixed the tendencies that she was doing. I don't know all the stuff she was doing, but it fixed the tendencies that she was doing. But it took away all of her inhibition. For like, if you went over there, she'd be like, you need to lose weight, you know? But now a lot of old ladies will say that kind of thing to you, but she just said whatever she was thinking. No inhibition at all. But everybody's like, well, that's just her. She had a lobotomy. She's got the best excuse ever.
And there's some,
I would blame it. I would blame it every day on a lobotomy. Well, I had a lobotomy, so I can say it. Like,
Right.
Yeah, and I bet you she did. Now, did you ever meet this woman? And did she talk about, I'm severed?
No, she did not talk about it. She did not talk about it.
Huh, interesting.
We knew about it.
But
And she never said anything. She never said anything.
It was
Even her. She never said anything to me.
Because you're too big.
She never said anything to me.
You're too big. Okay. It's a you thing.
Well, how come she didn't just say, you're too big?
Because
she has no inhibition. The point I'm saying is even a lobotomy woman who has no inhibition still won't say anything to me.
Yeah, she still experiences fear of stature.
And children do cry around me.
Right. You're like the most realistic mascot that a child has ever seen. Like,
I know more mascot-y people than me.
You're so mascot. Like,
I'm not big enough around to be.
Lando would go under the table when a mascot would come around. Like, God forbid Ronald McDonald come around. One of those cows from Chick-fil-A. Boy, he was under the table.
Have you seen, there's a restaurant where there's dinosaurs walking around, and these dinosaurs, very realistic raptor-looking things walking around this restaurant. These children are like
just
losing their minds.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what you're doing, man. Even to lobotomize people. So
what are we talking about?
I think maybe there's another apology coming. Tour. This is the tour, baby. And you know what? You should apologize to me again, probably, as part of this, because...
Well, I want to know why did we start talking about
Here's what we're talking about, Rhett. It's a breath of fresh air if there's somebody in your life, as long as you're not dating them probably, that is going to say exactly what they think. It's like some people, hey, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna ask so-and-so this because I know they're gonna tell me exactly what they think. And that can be valuable.
Yeah.
You can get good information that a lot of people aren't willing to give you. I'm not even willing to give you because I haven't had a lobotomy. I'd like to go on record.
Okay. Well, but maybe we could get you one.
Maybe one day.
Maybe we could scramble something.
Jenna, don't you get in on this.
Maybe we could scramble something.
I am not accepting this. I am only accepting your apologies. Yeah.
I don't know what the application is here. I just think that you don't need to practice relational skills in a relationship.
Not
in general.
Yeah, I want to know what's so toxic about their partner. I want to know what they've been doing to be assertive, and if them being assertive has changed the partner's behavior, and that is what's hot. Like, I need to know what is hot.
Right.
In the situation. I need more info from.
I'm actually most interested in what's hot.
Yeah. Can we get another voicemail of what is hot?
Yeah. And by the way, to clarify the situation, when you told this man that he needed a stylist, he was like, I'm recording music right now, man. He's like, I have a stylist. It's like, I'm not. He's like, I'm dressed comfortably because I'm recording.
And then what did I say? I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and that made it a little better.
Yeah, he was like, I just mean if you wore sweatpants like on the front, you cover your album,
Right.
then we might have a problem. I was like, well, I wasn't planning on it.
Before we move on, I will say that has been a good data point for me.
What, that specific interaction?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If I had to do it again, I wouldn't have said it because you brought it up a number of times.
Well, I think it's one of the few times that when we were going home after, I was like, I got some feedback for you.
Yeah.
Usually I'm just like, he can do what he wants to.
Again, it's not my MO to go that hard. I took a risk, it didn't pay off.
Right. Yeah.
And it informed future interactions that
I
I've
will
had.
say, can I give you
Did it what?
we haven't talked about this.
Another one?
We haven't talked about this
God
situation.
dang it.
no.
This was another situation in which
What you need to be like, are you in the right frame of mind for some feedback? Remember, we have training in this.
Do
you remember you ask if somebody wants feedback before you give them feedback?
Would you like some feedback? Because you're gonna think
On
it's
a
funny.
hot mic?
You're gonna think it's funny when I tell you this story.
Yes, good Lord.
Let me just say, I'm gonna change the medium from what the medium was, just because I don't want to. I want it to be a little more obscure. Like if I'm writing this in a book, it's not. This person wasn't showing you this; they were showing you their painting.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
So we were going to a place where someone was working on their painting, and okay.
All right.
And when we got there, we got to know them and some other people who were there, and they showed us their painting. Like, oh, we've been working on these paintings. Here's a few of them. And you saw the paintings, and you did the thing that you often do, which I think is one of the reasons that the person who is a mutual friend will invite us to see people's paintings, because you especially tend to be pretty specific and effusive in your feedback about anything that people show to you, right?
Okay.
Almost to the degree that I couldn't say anything if I wanted to. But, okay.
Okay.
So
I don't quite yet know what the painting is and what this is, but go ahead. I think I have a guess.
Okay. And so we see like 3 paintings, and you're like making comments about each one and like saying some things and like asking questions and engaging in a way that, like, I think again is the reason that the friend invites us. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't overwhelming. It was like on a scale of 0 to Link, Link being a 10, it was a 4.
I was keeping it chill.
And then
I wasn't talking about
while
style.
we were there, we started talking about another painter that we all liked.
Oh.
That this person had also worked with. And so we started looking at some of their paintings.
Yeah.
And when their paintings came up, you were like, oh, shit! Oh, yeah! Oh! Like, your reaction to these paintings was so over the top, and it was like, oh, yes! Yeah. It was so over the top.
So
and then you're like, oh, and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this.
In the painting. This happens in the painting.
In the painting. And meanwhile, the other painter is there, and what I was thinking was, wow, we just looked at her paintings, and Link wasn't nearly this effusive, and I was like, what is he going to do? When is it going to hit him that this may have happened? And I was like, maybe never.
Well,
and then we went back to looking at some paintings.
Their paintings.
Oh, yes. Their paintings. And you kind of went back to 4 again.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to fake.
Yeah.
I give honest and positive feedback.
Right. So
I gave honest and positive feedback, but then whenever the other painting was sprung on me, I was like, I'm still giving honest and positive feedback, but yes, it's on another level.
And my feedback to your feedback is not that you should make the feedback for the paintings that you're not as impressed with as effusive as the other, but maybe while you're still with that person and the awesome paintings come out, you're just kind of like, yes, I also like these. Just like keep it a little smaller for the sake of that person.
Yep.
That was just a little feedback I had.
Yeah.
We did that I didn't feel worth talking to you about after the fact, but now that we're talking about it, I thought that was funny. I mostly laughed in the moment.
I think that their paintings just were substantially not as good. And I wasn't trying to, I didn't say that. I didn't say anything blunt.
You didn't.
Improvement.
You didn't say.
But the writing was on the wall in between all the paintings.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes if you're like, well, now this one, I like this one. Like the implication is that maybe the one we just looked at, I don't like.
Right.
But that's fine. Then that's fine. Again, what I hear you saying, okay, you are also an artist, right? You mostly, we do this together, make things that we put out there that are very routinely criticized, right? It's part of the job.
Right.
And it isn't like we don't want, in fact, I was talking about this recently because there is a thing that happens, when you show your work to someone in this town. And there are like a few different things that they might say. And if they say, that was so much fun, that means they didn't like it and they can't think of something else. They can't think of something specific to say.
Yeah.
And that has happened to us a number of times.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to say something that's not true. Like,
right.
Now, I don't necessarily want them to be completely honest with me. There's enough, your friends don't need to be completely honest with you about your art because your friendship is more important. You can leave that up to the people on the internet who are going to be very specifically blunt with their feedback.
And or your aunt with a lobotomy.
Yeah, and it might be emotionally difficult to like take, but it's not like you put it out there. I mean, you put it out there. People's opinions or how they react to it. So you can't get upset with people's reaction to it. So it's like, I don't know, and then there's some other times where you send things to people and you're like, I am sending this to you because I want your specific feedback and I want you to be as honest as possible. Like if it's a draft of a screenplay or a pilot or a book or something like that. Or even it's like a rough cut, like if you invite somebody into the early stages of something and you are telling them, you got the green light to tell me what sucks about this. I'm literally asking you that. That's a completely different situation too.
Yeah. But I mean, those other paintings were just on another level.
Yeah, and you weren't.
And it was tough.
Negative about, it was just you were so positive about the other ones that it was very clear that I was like, well, he doesn't like these paintings. And then you got into the car and you were like, yeah, I don't like those paintings that much.
But before that, I'd done a really good job of only saying I was engaged. I said honest and productive things. And I took the tension out of the room.
I agree with that.
I took the awkwardness out of the room by processing it in a positive way. It was just when them other paintings popped out. Yeah, but like up until then, lots of good progress.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, I don't think this person would invite you back to participate in this process if you had been like offending people.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, and I have been invited back.
Right. Yeah. And I think he does that because he's like, well, this will be encouraging for this person. And honestly, I still think that might have been encouraging for that person. I noticed it, and I know you so well,
Right.
that I was like, I know exactly what he thinks about all of this, just based on like gauging these two reactions.
Yeah, but like to get
Maybe they didn't see it.
to get totally positive feedback from Painter 1 to get positive feedback, and then Painter 2, who by the way wasn't even there,
Right, made it even better.
to get more positive feedback. Well, then that they're different paintings.
Yeah.
They appeal to different people.
Different
but
style.
But it was never. You have to be determined to compare, which I wasn't doing.
No.
So it was this gray area of like, okay, now Painter 1 has their own process.
Right.
To deal with
Right.
that. But it is a precarious situation where somebody's sharing something that they poured their heart and soul into.
Well, and especially at that, I think at a like, hey, you've been invited to like hear this thing that's just been worked on. I feel like
The painting wasn't complete.
yeah, and I also feel like you're only allowed to give positive feedback in that situation.
Yeah, and I knew that.
And you would never
Right.
give negative feedback in that situation, like directly negative feedback in that situation. You would never do that. But I just think
Anymore.
that there are people
After the stylist thing, I'd like to think so.
But that wasn't a comment on his work. That was a comment on his clothing, which he wasn't there for.
Total package.
If he was a designer or like a
Right.
fashion model and you said, you need a stylist, then that would have been more. But I think that it's okay to be completely positive. And I think it's okay to be completely positive when your friend shows you something that they did. I always try to find something positive to say. Like, I'm just not going to be the person that be like, listen, when this thing gets out into the world, you'll get all the negative feedback you could ever imagine from all the people who respond. We live in a world where everyone's opinion is right there under the thing that you've made. So you don't need mine unless you ask for it specifically. So from a social standpoint, I just think it's more, on a friendship level, it's more about, I'm here to encourage. I'm here to make you feel good about what you did. Whether or not it ends up working once it's out there in the public eye, it's like, you know what I mean?
My mind was wandering a little bit,
Okay. Well, we need to.
but
move
I
on
do know
anyway.
what you were meaning.
We need to move on anyway.
Let's pass the blunt, so to speak, to another podcast. Okay, you ready for your apology?
Yes.
I think you can't get it.
I've
now,
earned it.
because you've thrown me under the bus twice.
I've earned it.
in this past segment.
Well, it was relevant. It was relevant.
It was relevant.
I just did it to get the comments from the people. I did it to get the comments from the people who think I'm always throwing you under the bus
Okay.
because I live for them.
We need more of those.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay. Then I forgive you.
When I wake up in the morning, that's the first thing I think about. Is those people.
Oh, Rhett's been so hard on LinkedIn.
And I'm like, what can I do today on the podcast that will get those people excited? I got a couple of things.
Tiny brain, maybe?
Yeah.
That was
That was good. That was good.
okay.
Hey guys, my name is Victor. I just stumbled upon Ear Biscuits, even though I've been watching GMM since I was in high school.
Oh.
I came across the episode where Rhett was talking about his vacation out to North Carolina a couple years ago with his wife, and he stumbled across the family and the gentleman, took a picture with them, and he later commented about how rude Rhett was. I just want to say that was me. I'm a changed person now. I love you guys. I'm extremely embarrassed. I still have that photo, and every time it pops up on my memories, it brings back some embarrassing feelings. So, like I said, I just want to apologize, Rhett. I think you're awesome. Link, you're cool too.
Hey.
And I love you guys. Bye.
Can you refresh my memory?
Yeah.
Because I knew there was an apology, but I don't remember the details.
This is several years ago. I'm in North Carolina. I am staying at the beach. I have COVID. And my wife has COVID. We both have COVID.
And you're telling this story on this podcast.
So I told this story on the podcast because the first time I went outside, I think this is the first time I had COVID, or maybe the second time. Basically the first time I go out in public after recovering from COVID, I'm walking on the beach. And as you know, walking on the beach in North Carolina, you might not see anybody, especially during the winter time. And there's a guy, a couple of people, and he sees me and he's like, Rhett, and he's coming up to me pretty fast. And I'm like, hey, I'm recovering. I just wanted you to know. And this is like 2021. You know, I'm still in the like, I'm recovering from COVID.
Uh-huh.
Like I feel like I have a lethal weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, can I get a picture? And I was like, I said, yeah, but I'm not going to be able to get like right up on you, even though we're outside. It's just like, you know.
You don't want to kill him.
And
or whatever we thought at the time.
And then he ended up commenting somewhere. I met Rhett on the beach, got a picture. He was rude. With no context of like, well, he had COVID or whatever. And so
I love the fact I'm getting you to retell this story and he's listening to it. And he's feeling horrible again because you're like retelling it. So you're not accepting his apology. You're retelling.
You said you didn't remember.
I didn't.
Also, I will say that I don't know how.
So what did you say?
I don't know how. And,
So-
and Victor, you can call back and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know how. I may be misremembering. It may be that I had COVID and I didn't want to tell. There's a chance. I can't remember. It's been 4 or 5 years.
But on the podcast, did you call him out for saying you were rude?
Yeah, the story I told was a dude. I tried to get a picture of me while I was recovering from COVID, and I was like, I didn't want him to get close to me, and he said I was rude, but he didn't ever tell anybody that it was because I had COVID, which I'm sure I must have said. I might have said, hey, I've been a little sick or something. Like I may have said, it may have seemed like I gave some excuse, like I just don't like getting close to people.
And then
Obviously,
years
he feels
later,
bad about it now.
Years
that he knows
later,
the context.
he's gotten onto this podcast.
Yeah.
He's like, man, he told a story about me years earlier.
That was me. But he didn't stop listening because of it. He started listening because of it.
He started listening in spite of it, found out about it, felt even worse, but then had the opportunity to apologize, which he took.
And
This is amazing.
I accept your apology, Victor. You know, it happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us.
Listen, Victor, he got what he wanted out of it, which was a good story that
That's
made
true.
him the victim.
That's true.
So
It made a much more interesting story than Victor.
He
I
got
would have
more than he
never
needed.
talked about you if you hadn't talked about me. I mean, well, think about that.
you got the raw end of the deal twice over, Victor.
And I wonder if you got COVID. Probably not. It's tough to get it outside like that.
You should be apologizing to Victor for putting him on blast. You doxed him. Almost. If you
Victor-
would have said his username,
Okay.
then you would have doxed him.
Victor, I want to say that I'm sorry to you for potentially exposing you to a potentially deadly virus. That I called you out on a podcast, and then because my friend's memory isn't great, I had to call you out again. And now you've identified yourself, and now I called you out again. So maybe it's even worse, and you're going to feel even more embarrassment when you see that picture. But I want to say this apology is 100% conditional on whether or not you are Bosnian.
Come on.
So if you are, it all stands. If you're not, forget about it.
The thing is, you were right, Victor. He's a jerk. He's a jerk. There's a reason why he's going on this apology tour today, because everywhere he turns, there's something for him to be sorry about.
That's right. That's right. Let's see what else we can apologize about.
Hi, Rhett and Link and Jenna. This is Oakley from Minnesota. My partner of 3 years just broke up with me. She wasn't a Mythical fan, so it was probably for the better. And I was just wondering if you had any song suggestions to help me get over the breakup. Thank you so much, and I love you guys' content.
Jenna's already pulling up her phone.
Excuse me.
And I'm like, I know I've got this. Sorry for your loss. But like you said, you're already looking at the positive side.
Yeah.
Maybe it's for the best. Your name is Oakley.
Right.
So that's awesome.
You probably got a pair on right now.
That's awesome. I have a playlist on my Spotify called Songs to Break Up To.
That you already had?
Yeah. Well, this was a listening party.
Songs to break up to or songs to listen to after you've broken up?
Well, it's songs to break up to. But it's like if you're in the process.
Okay.
So this was, back during the pandemic, I did the listening party stuff. Like me and Britton would like create these playlists, right? And this was just one of them that we came up with. So I'll just list off some Roses by Outkast. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Mm-hmm. He says the B word a lot at the end. And if you don't hear it, you're not listening to the explicit version, and it's weird. Mm-hmm. If you accidentally don't listen to the explicit version of Roses by Outkast, it gets weird.
Yeah.
So you got to listen to that.
You want to say the B word at the end to every single time. You need that for, I agree.
Which brings me, since I'm on Outkast, this one's not on my list. F You by, I think the radio edit was Forget You, but it was actually You from CeeLo Green. And what was that group he was in with Danger Mouse or whatever?
These are,
that's a good one.
So far, these are like bitter breakup songs.
This is like, you've been dumping.
Good riddance.
You're mad about it. Yeah, good riddance. Also, I have a few that aren't that. A few that like you can get into a sad place. Right. But I'm gonna go for the mad place. Jenna, you anybody add whatever you want. But X Factor, Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
You just lost one. I think that's it. Oh God, I'm not gonna say that one. Bob Dylan, Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. Commodores, Sail On. We love that song.
That's a great song.
That's such a good song. It's more of a divorce song, but that's kind of like Let's Go Our Separate Ways, and that's kind of like a peaceful vibe where it's like, all right, my reactionary, my anger, that type of vibe is kind of settling down. You can play some of that.
I like to throw in Lose You to Love Me by Selena Gomez.
Okay. If you want to get really sad, you could start with Don't Speak by No Doubt. It's like, you know it's coming, but you don't want to hear it. Very good song. And then if you want to get really sad, Bonnie Raitt, I Can't Make You Love Me.
Oh!
Ow! Sorry.
Yes!
Sorry, Oakley.
Yes,
Sorry.
that's good.
Can't Make You Love Me
Honestly,
if you don't.
that's the first one that you've said that I would put on my breakup list.
Right, because
I like
you're
being sad.
You're wallow in sorrow kind of
Yeah,
a
I'm
guy.
like, the whole like vengeful like hip hop breakup song. I'm like, what? No, never. I would never do that. But Bonnie Raitt, oh God, that song is so good.
It is such a good song. Jenna, you're still looking. What else you got?
I think a good one would be Billie Eilish, Happier Than Ever. It's so sad. Happier than ever. Like, that's a...
Yeah, so you get in your feels.
That sounds pretty sad.
Yeah, it's a good feels one.
Okay.
But yeah, I usually switch over from sad to, all right, let's be a bad bitch again. And then I find my, like, playlist to get... To find my bad bitch again.
So then you go to Exhale, Shoop Shoop by Whitney Houston.
Ooh, yeah.
I think you could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, remember I had that.
She's Gone.
I had that
Hall & Oates.
that tape, that Merle Haggard mixtape, and there was the love inside and the lonely side. and it was all Merle songs. But I would sit around and listen.
I did not have that one.
I would sit around and listen to The Lonely Side and wallow in unrequited love from my crush. And
it's so great that you would make those. You'd make mixtapes for yourself, like emo mixtapes.
But it was like Going Where the Lonely Go by Merle Haggard. You know?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Any place the lights are low.
Taylor Swift's 10-minute version of All Too Well. Yeah. Listen, yeah, I remember it all too well. That's a good, that'll cry. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not about to recommend a Taylor Swift song. Like, we are never getting back together.
Do you know the?
I mean, that's a good one too. But this is a cry.
Do you know that this is an interesting story about Mark Maron's special, his HBO special, which I ended up watching just because all of the promotion of him talking about stuff on doing all these guest appearances and kind of like calling out the the Trump loving comedians was effective for me. I've always liked Maron, but you know, I would just like listen to an occasional WTF, but I haven't ever actually listened to one of his specials. But
or watched it.
There's
their video.
Watched it. I had heard that
Is it good?
he used I had heard that he used a Taylor Swift song in the special. And people were asking, I think maybe Howie asked him, like, how much did you have to pay for that? It was like $50,000 or whatever. And it was like,
because he's friends with Jack Antonoff.
I don't know.
I think there's something.
That's
with
the
that.
connection?
Yeah.
So all I know is that like he plays a sad Taylor Swift song through his phone into the microphone as part of the special.
Okay.
Basically, like in like the last bit.
How long does that go on?
He plays it enough to get the point across, and it's a very sad song where he's basically like on a hike and he's listening to it and he's crying listening to Taylor Swift, and he's like, and he's also like
very out of character.
It might be My Tears Ricochet. That could be. That's a great crying Taylor Swift song.
Might be it. And I don't want to do the
Look
bit.
it up, Mark.
I'm not going to do the bit.
Taylor Swift special.
Like why he was listening to
That'll
it, and like how he
get
makes
ya.
it funny, but he does. And anyway, so.
But you recommend the special?
I do. I mean, he's got really insightful commentary into this whole, like how we got to where we're at and the part that comedy played in it. And he's got some pretty insightful, biting commentary. And now they're getting, I see a few they're getting a little upset, you know, they're starting to bite back a little bit because he upset them because he's a legit guy and they had to listen to him. Anyway.
One of the ones
Taylor Swift made him cry.
Yeah, one of the ones that's coming up is Bigger Than the Whole Sky.
Ooh, oh yeah, that's a
Mark
good
Maron.
one. Yeah, I loved you bigger than the whole sky. That's a really, that's a good Taylor Swift cry. Also adding Praying by Kesha, Million Reasons by Lady Gaga. That's another good one. Sorry, I'm giving, it's all ladies. It's all, the ladies.
Keep them coming.
Make you cry.
Any more?
Let's see.
Okay.
I like Somebody Else by the 1975. That's a good one if you know the person that broke up with you moved on right away.
Okay. Yep.
And then anything by Cigarettes After Sex, even if it's a somewhat happy song, like that music will just get you in your feels.
That's just breakup wallowing in.
Yeah,
sadness.
even if it's like happy in the lyrics, you feel like you're getting broken up with. It's just like
Okay.
yeah.
There you have it. See if we helped you out. All right, well, let's take one more.
Hey, y'all, calling in with an update. Just letting you know that back in March, I said that my nephew was going to possibly be named Lester. Well, baby Lawson has been born, and we're all very happy. Just wanted to let you know. Thanks for your advice. Bye.
Yeah. You know, I said it before, I'll say it again. I think the world could use less Lesters.
Right.
That's what I said, and I'm said it again.
Mm-hmm. Lawson.
Lawson.
I like that.
Lawson, I think, is a very buttoned up name.
Lawson.
Mm-hmm.
Lawson. Well, it has the word law in it. So then you start thinking
It
like
has son in it.
litigation. lawyer. You're not asking for feedback on this, but I'm just saying it's a very buttoned up name. Lawson? I don't know, it just seems like this kid has the top button, literally. This kid might wear a tie to school. Like the Ben Stiller character in Royal Tenenbaums. Could have been named Lawson.
It's an L name that I haven't heard much, which I like.
Is Lawson a last name?
Yeah.
I want to think that it's a last name.
Gotta be. Gotta be.
It's a last name that became a first name.
I think I had a teacher named Mrs. Lawson.
I mean, it's better than Clausen.
Clausen?
The pickles.
Oh.
Lawson. Laws. Son. What do you call him for short?
You can't.
Law. Law. Can't do that. Son. You can do that, but
it's just two syllables.
It's just another son.
It's unshortenable.
Lossy.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, it's not shortenable.
Lawson.
Lossy. Lasso. Just take the N off.
It's tough.
Maybe that's why it's so buttoned up.
But we've got unshortenable
Or laws,
names.
if they start calling them, instead of like law, it's like laws.
Yeah.
That's not gonna, I'm not feeling it. I think that's
then
what
it sounds like you're saying Lars with a speech impediment.
It's a last name that you cannot nicknameify. Therefore, you're backed into this like complete pronunciation corner. And
so we're calling for a rename.
I think.
Is that what you're saying?
I hope you have a really loose, dude-ish kind of a middle name that's just like, what's the loosest kind of name? That's like bra, kind of a vibe.
Bo.
Sandy.
Lawson Sandy? That's a horrible two names.
Well, it doesn't go together, but I'm just saying Sandy is a loose name. It sounds like a nickname already. You know? Bud, Buddy, Lawson Buddy. But it really needs to be one syllable. Lawson Tim?
Tim is short for Timothy. Maybe no middle names. Middle names are overrated. Who needs them? Some cultures don't even have them.
What about Craig Lawson? Lawson, the middle name.
Well, they probably already did this. Whatever it was, it's probably already been done. The child exists.
And
now.
We're just giving an update.
And has been legally named.
There's no open questions.
And when you said Lawson, I liked it, and then Link started making me question it. But I don't think that that's how names work. I just think that names are like, how does it sound the first time you hear it? You like it? That's what people are gonna think. You don't sit around and think about your name that much.
Right. It's like, I never think about the fact that your name is Vesuvius. Like, isn't that like a antique volcano?
Yeah, most volcanoes are antique.
Yeah, it's like, were you named after
they're all pretty old. Most volcanoes are probably older than most furniture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All furniture, I would say.
If land forms...
All volcanoes are older than all furniture? That's probably not true. There's probably a volcano that just formed up.
No, but you're saying if landforms were furniture, volcanoes will be lamps.
Because of the shape?
No, man.
And the light that comes out of them?
Because of just the... It's like, you go in an antique store, what you gonna see? You're gonna see, oh, there's a lamp. There's fire coming out of it.
It's a lava lamp.
Could be.
Sorry, I hate myself.
Antique lava lamp.
I liked it.
Okay. Lawson.
See, we got an apology out of Jenna. I'll tell you.
Those are rare.
I would like to apologize to the painter.
You don't have to bring it back up. Everybody's forgotten about it.
Okay. I would like to apologize to the sweatpants wearing artist.
Okay.
And I would like to express gratitude to you for listening.
Good.
And invite you to call us because there's things Rhett needs to be corrected on. And you know what?
Yep.
You could leave a voicemail to make me feel better about who I am.
Yep, he needs that.
Yeah, from somebody.
He needs that. He doesn't hear that enough in the comments.
1-888-EARPOD1. And we'll speak at you next week.
What's up, Rhett and Link? This is Corey. I just finished watching the latest episode of Wonderhole, and oh my God, they got my boy Link. I ain't expected to get my boy. It's a hot tub with a saliva slurry. Amazing details. You guys' comedic genius is untouchable. Keep going. I love your work.
Watch Link vs. Lily, Last One Standing. Episode 1's out now at mythicalsociety.com.